conversation. But then, of course, on the other branch here is the Beher, which and these are the languages that he analyzed in his text, or the first six major. And so there's Coptic, Somali, Sango, Zerma, Wolof, and Luo, for example. And so, you know, just to give you the languages according to the Mboli model. And so notice that Middle Egyptian and Coptic are two separate languages. And so what he argues is that the linguistic analysis demonstrates that Coptic was a different language altogether than Middle Egyptian, and that they both coexisted along the Nile. And more than likely, what we're calling Coptic was the everyday language of the people, while the Bere Middle Egyptian was the language of the elites who took over, who came from the south and conquered and united Upper and Lower Egypt. Excuse me. And so, but that's a discussion for another time. And so, some of y'all who, of course, know me should be familiar with Dr. Teofilo Benga. Excuse me, not Teofilo Benga, but Dr. Mubabenge Bilolo. And so, Dr. Mubabenge Bilolo is an Egyptologist, also a linguist and philosopher. Uh, Out of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and he is a native of the Baluba people who I spoke of earlier. And he's written a number of books. One that you see here that says "Towards a Egyptian, Coptic, and Luba Dictionary." Um, the Bantuity of the vocabulary of Egyptian Coptic, and the essays of Lilius Homberger, if y'all don't know who Homberger is, and of course Dr. Theophilo Benga. And so he comes up with this label China Intu for essentially uh, all of the African languages that share affinities with Bantu. And I took that label because it's a I think it is a very good label based on linguistic grounds. And this is the design or the breakdown of the language family as articulated by Mboli. And so, without getting into the details of what this all means here, it was confusing because Mboli would call all of these different stages, these are stages here, as Negro Egyptian. And and for 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 clarity, I renamed the stages of his Negro Egyptian. So the the greater language family I call Chi. Remember that word that I introduced earlier, Bukanda, for the label of Africa. So this is archaic Chiankanda, the archaic African language that gave birth to Chiankanda Chikulu. This is the most archaic stage. And then you have classic Chiankanda, and that's these stages right here. Then you have Chiana Intu. And then you have another split called Kabed. And the interaction of the Kabed branch and the Chiana Intu is what gives us Proto-Semitic in the Levant. We don't have time to go into the details of that, but I just want to give you some insight on what I mean by Chiana Intu. So Chiana Intu is the stage here. And based upon the linguistic analysis, the ancestor of modern Hausa, of Zande, of Middle Egyptian, of Coptic, of Sango, Somali, and even Proto Bantu is what I'm calling Chiana Intu. And what we discover is that when we reconstruct the parent language, the Proto Bantu is closest and actually mirrors the reconstruction. So this is how we know that Proto-Bantu is older than these languages here, and we'll show we'll give an example of that a little later. And so, just to reiterate, Bantu is the parent language, the parent group.
Okay, family, I'm going to share the link. But this brother is Brother Asar. I've shared work from him before, videos, and he is actually at one point in time shared a testimony that he was a Hebrew Israelite, and he came into the understanding and started actually going, to understand Kemet. And like I said, some of our people left from Christianity, went to Kemet, or Hebrew Israelite went to Kemet, or so forth. And he's now understanding how the Bantu language and how it derives from Kemet, that all languages come from that, and he have done videos on that as well. So I will share the link, and just to give you further insights. Okay, family, see you in the next video. In Geta Matando.